This movie is so weird. If you are single, you'll be the same with crime and be arrested. Then they would be locked up in a hotel-style prison. The environment in the prison is not bad at all. There are men and women, and there are hot springs. In here, if you're after 45 days still single, they will force you to turn into an animal, which can be a pig, can also be a dog. Generally, not human. The nearly 50-year-old male lead was unlucky to be single, and was immediately arrested. In order to prevent him from being alone for doing it himself, and debauchery by himself, he immediately was locked a padlock on the belt of his pants, then tied one hand behind his back. From today, he can only brush his teeth with one hand, eat with one hand, and do everything with one hand, to warn him how painful it would be to lose the other half. But there are also people who try to use another hand, and then lose it for real. It stipulates that, until the object is found, you are not eligible to participate in any two-person activities, so they can only choose to play golf, shoot, or other self-entertainment items. Soon the male lead was arranged to a single room with his single dog. He opened the closet. The clothes inside were different colors and designs, to remind him that he was still single. At night, the male lead really couldn't stand it anymore. He really wanted to escape the single life, so he joined the ball that the hotel organized. Everyone is single here. It seems that the single life exit rate is also very high. The male lead is active. He went to a blonde girl and asked her to dance. Half of the dance, the girl suddenly had a nosebleed. The male lead began to board because his plan to escape from celibacy had failed. Maybe you don't understand a little bit why fail. Here, to get rid of being single, two people must have a same point at least to be able to come together. The one who has a lame leg, the other person must also be a lame person. A girlfriend who can sing should also find someone who is a singer. They think it is beneficial for the good development of married life. The male lead was extremely depressed and sat to one side. The person next to him started talking. He said that he could get out of the single life tomorrow, in the blink of an eye. The next day had come. He took the initiative to start a conversation with the blonde girl, then suddenly had a nosebleed. After the hotel found out, they immediately organized a wedding for them, because they had one same thing, nosebleeds. They also upgraded luxury double rooms for them, luxury yachts, 7 days travel. The hotel also promised that, if there was a conflict or quarrel after the marriage, the hotel would give it to the child. The hotel explained that children would solve a lot of problems in life. The man who escaped his celibacy came to comfort the male lead. Before returning to his room, he slammed the table with force, causing his nose to bleed. It turned out that he used this method to express himself with frequent nosebleeds. The male lead learned a new skill that people who are too honest will not find an object. The main character feels bewildered. If he remained unmarried, it would be like his single brother being turned into a dog. He began to actively talk to the short-haired girl. She is arrogant and cold-hearted. The ideal object is just like her. The girl began to actively spy on the male lead, using high-powered performing arts, choked on saliva, couldn't breathe, and soon began acting. Only saw the male lead sitting to one side looking bewildered, then turned his face. Consider that there is nothing. This kind of man is too casual. I feel that the two of us are very compatible. Yes, I see that too. In the blink of an eye, the two held a wedding ceremony. Just like that, the two extremely cold people came together. The little girl wants to be hugged, but the woman was cold. The man refused. Did not forget to step on the little girl, raising the extreme coldness to the extreme. One day early in the morning, the woman suddenly called the sleeping male lead to say she had killed his single dog. No problem. The wife again began to simulate the pain cry of the brother's male lead before died. The male lead shook his head again to show he didn't care, went to the bathroom. He finally couldn't help but burst into tears. The result was discovered by his wife. Now that's tragic. The male lead who lies will be forced to turn into an animal. The male lead had to use anesthetic for wife, then took her to the animal transformation room to avenge his brother. After doing everything, the male lead escaped from the hotel and ran into the deep forest. In the forest, he encountered even more terrifying people. It is strictly forbidden to love here. This black people because they kiss other people. The result is that the upper lip is gouged out. It's the hot kiss punishment. Even with loving eyes, the ending was tragic. Humans can only put on their own headphones to turn on the DJ. Dance while dances in the forest. Every week at nightfall, there will be an activity in the night, sneaking into the hotel, punishing the couples. Their motive is to make everyone in the world single. However, in one action, the male lead discovered that Emily had something in common with him. They were all nearsighted. If they have something in common, they can go to the hotel to register for a wedding. Next, two people to talk to each other, without drawing attention to others, invented a form of body language. The male lead said to Emily, "Tonight leave here to the hotel to register the marriage." Emily gets a hint from the male lead, but Emily likes to keep a diary that is discovered by others. The gang boss took her to the hospital. Emily thought it was to cure her nearsightedness, but absolutely did not expect that. The gang boss asked the doctor to make her eyes blind. After knowing that the male lead would not abandon Emily, they began to look for similarities again, but for several days still could not find anything in common. The male lead had to follow directly attacked the boss, threw her into a large hole, and buried her alive, then taken only to escape. Running inside a restaurant, the male lead asked the waiter to bring up a set of cutlery, took a fork and went to the bathroom, his mouth full of toilet paper. Because he didn't want to be turned into an animal, he decided to turn into a blind man. The movie ended there. The whole movie develops in a very strange way. Some people don't understand it at all. Some people understand the content inside, and those who are interested can see the complete version. Alright, stop in here. See you later.